Hi everyone, welcome to week 7, yoga with Rachel Warren. Hope you're doing well this week. Thanks everyone for following along after week 7 of doing yoga with me. Great that everyone is still engaged in doing yoga at this time is really important so that you can try and switch off mentally from what's going on in the world. Big shout out to Tim and Jane every week doing the videos. Well done guys, I'm really glad that you're enjoying them, so thank you so much. And everyone else that's following along as well, so thank you. It's the last week of our asana of the month, which is pigeon. So we've been doing pigeon every week and opening up the hips, so I'm hoping that you can get a little bit deeper now into the hips and you're feeling some movement, some pressure off the lower back. So that's one of the great things about pigeon. So we will be moving to another asana in May, and I'm going to choose Rita to help us with an asana of the month for May. So just remember to listen to your body throughout the yoga class. If you want to take it a little bit easier or go into child's pose because you find some of the postures a little bit demanding, then please do so. So just come to a comfortable seated position on the top of your mat, and you can either place the palms on the knees or facing upwards. And we're going to just come into some deep belly breathing to start with. So take a deep inhale through the nose and count for 4, pausing at the top of the inhale. And then as you start the exhale, count to 6 or 8 on your exhale, drop the shoulders down the back and really push the energy down through the belly, squeezing the belly at the bottom. And then do a few rounds by yourself. If you want to close your eyes, just to turn the focus inwards. So that's 4 on the inhale, pausing at the top. And 6 or 8 on your exhale. It's just to make the breath even longer. Really important part of doing yoga is the breath, the pranayama, the breathing. And that you're lengthening the breath. Also helps to focus the mind just on the breathing. Brings you into a meditational state. So nothing else matters. Forgetting about where you were going or where you've come from, all the busyness around us. Come to find some stillness and some calmness. Even more important at the moment in time. So take your last inhale and exhale. And try and keep that really long breath when we're in the asanas as well. It's really important to engage the pelvic floor and the stomach muscles for that duration of the yoga practice. And then with an inhale, reaching your arms up to the sky and stretching out of the hip socket, stretching the fingers up to the sky, grabbing the right wrist with the left hand and stretching through the side body. Making sure that you're not collapsing forward or too far back, in a nice neutral position. Take an inhale and exhale. Bring the arms up to the center and then pulling the left wrist over your arm by your ear. Take an inhale and exhale. And then dropping the hands, interlace the fingers in front of you, round the back, tuck in the chin, open out the back body, open out the top of the shoulder blades, pulling the shoulders down still so they're away from your neck. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And then releasing the hands, bringing the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, If you can place the palms together, then great. Don't worry if you can't. Straightening the arms is really important. So you're pulling the shoulder blades down the back. And then tucking the chin in. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing the arms, just give them a little bit of a shake. Lifting the arms up to the sky. And side stretch. So bigger stretch in the side body this time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale, dropping over to the right side. Inhale, lifting up in front of you. Lifting the palms, stretching out the fingers, as if again someone's pulling you from the sky above. Lifting out through the hip sockets. And then dropping the arms by the sides. And then opening out the legs. It doesn't matter if you can't go too far. Just a nice gentle opening of the inner abductors and actually opening of the hips as well. Try and round the thighs, keeping the legs flexed. So you're engaging the calves, engaging the quads. And then just fold forward. Take a deep inhale, walk the fingers in front of you, and then walk the fingers out to the left and lifting up the right hand to the ceiling. Really again stretching up, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Inhale deeply and exhale, bringing that right hand down, walking the fingers over to the right side. And then opening out the left arm. Stretching the fingers up to the top, up to the sky. And exhale, walking the fingers out in front. Walking the fingers back towards you. Bringing the knees in together. And giving the knees a little squeeze here. So picking up the toes, picking up the feet. And just balancing on your sit bones really helps to engage with the core muscles. Lifting up the shoulders, remember keeping the back straight. Don't want to round in the back. Placing the feet down onto the mat, rolling over onto all fours. Just going to go a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the head, opening out the shoulders, dropping the back and lifting the tailbone up to the sky. Inhale for 4, pausing at the top of the inhale and start to exhale, lifting the back, rounding the back, pushing the hands against the mat, tucking the chin in. Squeezing the glutes. And start to inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest, opening out the shoulders. Spreading the fingers wide. If you want to bend in the elbows, then bend in the elbows. And start to exhale, tuck the head in. Rounding the back, lifting up the back. Rounding the shoulders. Tucking the tailbone down. And just come to a flat back. And we're going to lift up the left arm. And we're going to thread it through the right. Underneath the right arm. And placing your left shoulder on the mat. And inhale. And exhale. If you want to lift up the right arm, then do so. If not, just stay on the mat just to support you. You can lift up the right arm. Inhale and exhale. Lifting back up into tabletop. And this time lift up the right arm. Inhale and exhale, fold it through. Thread it through the left hand, really placing the left hand on the mat. And if you want to, if you're feeling strong in the shoulders, lift up the left hand. Inhale and exhale. Exhale, dropping the left hand. Lifting back up into tabletop. And then just start to roll the hips around. It's really good to roll into the hip sockets. So we're wakening up, warming up the hips. Go slowly, pushing the hips back towards the heels, lifting up forward. If you're hearing crunching in the knees, that's absolutely fine. Rolling around. It's like pockets of air in the knees. Rolling around, going the other way. Should be a nice massage on the hips and on the top of the thighs, the hip flexors. And then slowly coming back just to tabletop and lifting up the left hand by the side of the ear and lifting up the right foot. So it's just in line with your hips. And the really key important thing here is engaging the core. So really tucking in that belly. If you're collapsing in the belly, to really pull and really feel engaging those stomach muscles. Inhale and exhale, bring it back to the mat. And the other side, let's make it a little bit more fluid. Opening out. Bringing back to the mat, and again on the other side. Opening out. Left arm and right leg. Bringing back to the mat. And then other side. Keep that belly engaged. And then exhale. Open the legs out wide. Sitting back into child's pose. And making child's pose quite active. Really pushing against the mat with your hands. So you're pushing your hips down onto your heels. And then tucking the head down. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Into those hip sockets. And then slowly start to rise up again. Bringing the knees in. And untucking the feet, going into plank, stretching out those legs, stretching, pulling up on the thighs, engaging the glutes, staying here for a breath. Inhale and exhale. Stepping the left leg to the top of the mat, dropping the back knee. We're coming to the inside of your left leg. Dropping the back foot and then lifting up the arms and then dropping a little bit further into the hip sockets, reaching up to the sky and exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat, to the inside of the mat. Now switch the foot out to the left side. Now pulling that knee out. Just another gentle hip opener, lifting up the left arm to the sky, again spreading the fingers, taking a deep inhale and exhale, down through the belly, bringing the left hand back down to the mat and stepping back, dropping the knees, pushing back into child's pose. Again, using the mat as a resistance, pushing the arms and the hands back. Big toes touching, knees out wide. And then coming back up onto all fours and stepping the right leg forward, coming to the inside of the right leg. And opening out that hip and lifting up the right side. Dropping the right hand and lifting up arms deep into that hip stretch. Lifting the arms up and bringing the hands back down to the middle. Pushing the right foot to the back and sitting back into child's pose. Take a breath here before we come into downward facing dog. Untuck the toes, dipping the head, relaxing the head. Just paddle out the knees on the first downward facing dog. So stay in your downward facing dog. Relaxing the head, relaxing the shoulders, paddling the knees. Bringing the feet closer together, and then slowly inhale, lifting the heels up to the sky, hips up super high, up onto the tippy toes, and then exhale, heels down. Doesn't matter how far you go down, having a straight back is more important, so if you need to bend the knees to straighten your back, then do so. Inhale, heels up to the sky. And exhale, heels back down. And then step the left leg to the top of the mat on the inside of the left hand. Stepping the right leg to the top of the mat. And forward bend, grabbing the elbows with your hands. Forward bend. Releasing the head, releasing the neck, releasing the shoulders. Putting some goodness back into the back of the legs. Start to sway from side to side. Keeping the breath. Releasing the arms and then slowly bend the knees. Slowly come up to rise, all the way to the top, into Tadasana, mountain pose, strong in mountain pose. Roll the shoulders down the back, couple of rounds with the shoulders, going one way and then going the other way. Lifting the arms up to the sky, engage the glutes, pushing the hips forward. So squeeze your glute muscles here, and if you have an okay back, then slight back bend here. Inhale deeply. And exhale, place the palms together all the way down to the top of the mat. Releasing the head, releasing the shoulders. Inhale, flat back, straighten the legs. And exhale, place the hands on the mat, step the left leg back. Stay here. Just again, it's a deeper hip opener here. And then stepping the right leg back into plank. Palms really pushing against the mat. And if you want to come knees, chest and chin to the mat. Exhale it all out. And then inhale. Pushing the front of the body forward, tucking the elbows in, opening out the shoulders, releasing the feet. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can lift up the thighs. Inhale and exhale, lifting the hips up, untucking the feet, downward facing dog.
Breathing here, taking a couple of rounds of breath. Using Ujjayi breathing, victorious breath, Ujjayi breathing. And then stepping the left leg on an inhale to the top of the mat. Stepping the right leg to the top of the mat. Folding forward, exhale. Inhale, rising up to the sky slowly. Placing the palms together, hands to heart center. Great, starting to warm the body up. Again, sun salutation on the right side, Namaskara A, lifting the arms up to the sky. Inhale, slight back bend if your back is happy. Exhale, folding forward all the way down to the mat. If you want a slight bend in the knees, getting your belly resting on your thighs. Inhale to a flat back, straighten the legs. And then exhale, step the right leg back. And again, before you move the left leg back, just stay here. Exhale. Deep into the hips. And then step the left leg to join the right in your plank. Strong in the arms and in the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, knees, chest and chin. All the way to the mat. Inhale, lifting up into Cobra. Pushing the front of the body forward, opening up the chest and the shoulders. And again, if you want to make it slightly more challenging, lift up the thighs off the mat. Inhale, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, exhale, lifting the hips up to the sky, untucking the feet. And take a few rounds of breath here. Inhale, exhale. A lot of people think that downward dog is a static pose, but don't forget you can move around in it too. You can go left and right. Shift the weight, lifting the hips up to the sky. Whatever feels good for your body. Inhale, exhale. Stepping the right leg to the top of the mat. Inhale. Stepping the left leg to the top of the mat. Exhale, squeeze it out through the belly. Releasing the arms, shaking the head out. And then inhale, reach, rise slowly so the blood can come back and doesn't cause us too much dizziness. Placing the palms together. Throwing the hips forward, palms to the heart center. I love Surya Namaskara A. It really warms the whole body up and gets you ready for all other asanas. So this time we're going to come into a variation with Warrior One. So lifting the arms up to the sky. Inhale, place the palms together. Exhale, folding forward all the way down to the mat. Exhale. Inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the head, flat back, legs nice and straight. And this time we're going to step the left leg to the back of the mat. And we're going to come up into Warrior One. So lifting the arms up, hips facing forward. Warrior is a really strong stance. Strong on the legs, really strong on the hip flexors and that thigh. Keeping that heel facing up. If you're losing a little bit of stability, then push the heel out to the side of the mat. Just helps with the stability. Coming down into that strong thigh, strong leg, lifting the arms up to the sky. And a couple of variations. So we're going to lift up, straighten the legs. Inhale. And as you exhale, twist around to the left side. Coming down, really using that lunge, strong in the thighs. Spreading out the fingers, inhale. Reaching up to the skies Straightening that leg and twisting around to the other side. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Last one, exhale, palms to center. Come all the way down, squaring the foot off. And then stepping back into downward facing dog. Great work, guys. Take a recovery here. If you want to come down into child's pose, come into child's pose. Or stay in downward facing dog. Up to you. I know some people find it difficult to rest in downward facing dog, and trust me, it takes years of practice to get there. And build the shoulder strength to relax in downward facing dog. Child's pose is absolutely fine. Yoga is for everyone. Inhale, exhale. And then coming back forward into plank. And knees, chest and chin. Pushing forward into cobra. Lifting up those thighs if you want to. And pushing back into downward facing dog. Going to step the left leg to the top of the mat. And the right leg to the top of the mat. Fold forward. And lifting up to the top of the mat. Place the palms together to the heart center. Great, guys. Now we're going to go on to the other side. Lifting the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to a flat back. Straighten the legs. And then stepping the right leg to the back of the mat. Coming up into warrior one. And inhale. Exhale here. Lunge into that warrior one. Keeping that back foot lifted. And again, if you're finding you're unstable, then push the leg out to the side of the mat so it gives you more stability. Hips facing forward, knee, heel over knee as well. Lifting the arms up. Inhale and exhale to the right side. Round to a twist. Inhale, lifting up the arms. And exhale down to the left side. Inhale, lifting up to the sky, and bring the hands to heart. All the way down to the mat. And stepping back into downward facing dog. Or come into child's pose if that's easier for you to rest. Inhale through the nose, out through the nose. Rest here. Thinking about your spring intention, bringing energy to the body, preparing us for the rest of the year. We're building strength in the shoulders, in the legs. Inhale into plank. And exhale, dropping the knees, dropping the chest, dropping the chin. Lifting the hips up high. And then inhale, lifting up into cobra. And again, if you want to use that variation, lifting up the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, pushing up into downward facing dog. Stepping the right leg to the top of the mat. Stepping the left leg to the top of the mat. And let's just hang out in forward fold. Releasing the neck, releasing the shoulders, rocking the